Hey guys, I'm Dee Harris. Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Dee. And today I am so excited to be hanging out with Jackie Jumping Jack Leemon. How are you?
Hi, Dee.
I am so happy to have you.
Thank you.
Jackie is a competitive rider, and you're going to be part of the Olympic team going to Rio de Janeiro soon, right?
To do the course design.
Yeah, to do the course design.
Very
so
excited.
that's congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you have such an inspiring, fun, personal story, which, as you point out, is nowhere near finished yet.
I hope.
Nowhere near finished. Yeah, so, you know, I'd just like to share you with my audience. Start off by talking about where you grew up.
I'm originally from Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
Small town, 2,000 people,
Yeah.
called Marissa.
Marissa.
Yeah, it's about an hour southeast of St. Louis.
Yeah.
And it's coal country and coal mines, and, very rural. It's all,
Yeah.
It's very cornfields and
Wow.
soybeans.
Yes, very cool.
Country girl.
And then you said you grew up between Illinois and Florida.
Yes, Marissa's where my father's from, and we lived there in the summertime and at holiday time, and then I did all my education school year in Florida,
Okay.
in Miami.
Yeah.
Grew up in Miami, and then when it was time to go to college, I moved back to Illinois and went my 4 years in Southern Illinois again. So,
Okay, very cool.
yeah,
so
so
you went
really
back and
very
forth.
50-50,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So you have a fun story about your dad and the hotel industry. Talk about that.
Yeah, my dad really was an amazing guy. As I said, he's from Marissa, a small town. His dad was in the Postal Service and rode the train to St. Louis every day to go to Union Station and work with the mail.
Yeah.
So this was all during the Depression era. My dad was born in 1926. So it was 25. So it was very interesting that he could get out of Marissa, Illinois, and he actually ended up doing it through the military.
Wonderful.
Was in a naval program, the V-12 program. And after he got out of the Navy, he's like, well, what are we going to do? And he says, let's start a hotel. And my mom says, a hotel? We've never even stayed in a hotel. So they bought a little 10-unit motel in Charleston, South Carolina, where he'd been stationed in the Navy. And that's where it all began. And eventually he grew, and he met Cummins Wilson, the founder of Holiday Inns.
Yeah.
He became a personal friend of our families. And my dad ended up with the 8th Holiday Inn. So,
That is
and I think
such...
there's 1,700 worldwide now.
Yes,
so
very, very
we go way
cool.
back in the chain.
Yes, that
I
is
still have some of those
fantastic.
towels with the green stripes.
Yeah,
at
that is.
Holiday Inn.
What a wonderful story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your dad is a go-getter.
Yeah, I'm sure, I'm pretty sure he's the only person from Marissa that's gone to Harvard. He ended up through that
You were telling
naval
me.
program. So
Yeah.
pretty big achievement.
Absolutely, absolutely. And tell me about your mom. She influenced you in riding, you said.
Yeah, he met her while going to Harvard. She was from Boston, and she worked right alongside him. They made beds, and she cooked in the kitchen and ran the restaurant, and they built their business together. They worked together every day of their life. They were married 63 years. And she always had wanted to ride as a young girl and never had the chance. And asked me one day if I wanted to take riding lessons, and I said, okay, whatever. I wanted to take piano lessons, which I did, but never thought about riding. And from the first time I went to a horse show, I was hooked. I had to do it, and I've been doing it now for 42 years. So.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So,
Dill,
thanks,
put
Mom.
those pictures up, Dill. Look at you over there.
Oh, that's a
How old
lovely
were you
horse
in
I
that
had.
shot?
I was probably 16 or so. That's a lovely hunter I had named Love You Blue. We called him Blue.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, this horse went on to become a horse for Julia Roberts.
No way.
Yes, when I was done jumping him, he was too lame to really do the jumping. He was an older horse, and I sold him back to the person I bought him from, and she bought him from him. So.
That is very cool.
So he has a history.
Yes.
It's a Hollywood horse.
Oh my goodness. So you said you picked colleges based on weather and where your coaches were.
Yes, I grew up riding in Belleville, Illinois. My coach was Liz Young Van. Now she's remarried, and she said, you can, if you want to, after high school, come here and ride and work a little bit, and you know, mix that in with your college studies, you know, I'd love to have you stay. So I rode with her till I was 21.
Wonderful.
Yep. And every day, 6 days a week, went to
You
the
were
barn.
there. Yeah, that's what you
Went to the
did.
stables and taught a little and rode some of the young horses, and then had my own one horse.
Yeah.
So it's been constant.
Yeah, this has been your life.
Yes.
So you've been a teacher, a waitress, and a protege to some very famous horse owners
Yep,
and
done a lot.
trainers. How did you know that it was time for you to start your own business? Because you have your own business.
Yes, I have a farm in Florida, Wellington. It's called Victory Lane. I've had it about 15 years now.
Yeah.
But I had worked I went to college, I went to graduate school, riding all throughout. Ended up teaching college as a good way to support myself,
Yeah.
because I could ride on the weekends, ride in the summer,
Yeah.
and had a good job. I actually had a tenure track position. My last job was in Southern California, and I mean, I could have still be there today teaching, but I knew I really wanted to stay on the road, go to horse shows, train, have a barn, and now it's all come together.
Yeah.
And but I worked for a long time for a lot of people. I worked for some of the great people, Margie Goldstein, and I rode for Hap Hansen a little bit. Was with Norman like 5 years. Still was my coach for about 20 years. But when I finally thought I knew enough about training horses and running business
Yeah.
and competing, I thought, okay, it's time now.
It's time.
I needed all their help for all those years to get a basis.
Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
it would have been successful had I gone
Just
out on
jumped
my
out
own
on your
earlier.
own. Yeah, yeah.
And it was tempting, and you know, my parents were like, "Well, you need to start your own business," and you know, but it wasn't time. I think when I finally made the decision, it was
It was
a
the
good
right
move.
time.
Yeah, but I was probably, oh gosh, I was 35 probably, or
When you started your
when
own
I
business.
decided, okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I had no farm. I had nothing.
Yeah.
I was, you know, I was operating basically out of the horse shows or at other people's farms. So it's
Yeah, and you did it.
yep.
So one of one of the most frequent questions I get from my viewers, either on Twitter or by email or however they can find me on Facebook, is the question about purpose. How do you know that you are in purpose and that what you're doing is what you're supposed to do, what you were meant to do?
I think definitely I have a connection with animals, horses in general, and I always say that happy horses live at Victory Lane.
Oh,
I think
I love
horses
that.
that come to our farm, whether they're babies at 3 years old, to come and learn how to jump and be trained, they have a really good life, and they're handled beautifully, and no stone unturned in their care. Their feet, their teeth, their, you know, their backs. We really do a good job at assessing
Yeah.
potential problems, and
Yeah.
and I think through slow training and patience, we've produced very good horses.
Yeah.
And the farm we've had home to 2 Olympic horses living there so far.
Oh,
It's not a
wonderful.
big farm, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
you
what
put
we
out
do,
some good stuff.
Yeah, what we do well,
Yeah.
and we try to stay in that mold.
Yeah.
And so far so good.
Yeah.
Always not
Knock
good.
on everything.
Always not good.
You say giving back is very important to you. Why?
I think I've obviously had a lot of nice opportunities. I had a very solid family. I've had very good education. Privileged enough to have horses. So I think that through my parents' training and obviously my church, you find out that philanthropy and giving is really learned. And if no one's given to you, it's hard for you to realize, hey, you need to give back.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of privileged opportunity. You need to give back. And I think you and I
Yeah,
shared that
absolutely.
statement about, to those who much is given,
Much
much
is expected.
And
Absolutely.
I've always tried to remember that. And if
Absolutely.
anyone asks for my help, I give it. And if they don't ask, I try to give it without being asked. Try to see
Absolutely.
the opportunities.
Love that. Thank you, Jackie. All right, guys, it's time for Dee's Life Questions. So, Jackie, you had some beautiful quotes that I want to share with my friends at home. You said, "There's no such thing as coincidence. It's God remaining anonymous."
I really believe that. I
Yeah.
see
What
it
does that
all the
mean?
time.
What does that mean?
I always listen, and say somebody or something tells you, oh, maybe now's a good time to, I don't know, go down the hall and go to the copy machine or something. And then you get there and there's someone there that you either need to speak to or you can help or be with. And I just think God works in all of us. And if we listen and pay attention, we'll see exactly what we should be doing.
Absolutely. I agree.
I just, too many things happen.
Too many.
That, yeah, it can't just be random.
The
universe is too big for those 2 points in the universe
to come together, to intersect so often.
And a few seconds here or there, they wouldn't have met.
Absolutely.
You say, oh, I happened to run into so-and-so. Well, I think you were put there to run into so-and-so.
Absolutely. I'm on the same page with you.
But
yes.
I believe that.
Yes. When was it? It was like a weekend ago. I was hanging out with my kids. Met with someone, finished the conversation, and for some reason I was just like, why am I not leaving right now? I just hang around, and kids are like, Mom, aren't you leaving? Like, let's just sit, just take some breaths, let's talk about the week.
Yep.
And they're like, we can do that in the car.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, let's just chill here for a moment. And just when I was like, okay, let's go, because I was like, there was like this prompting, like, just wait, just sit, right? Just when I'm like, okay, I guess time's up. There was this mom who was like almost at the point of tears.
Oh, no.
She had a baby in one hand, the baby bag on the other hand. The baby is crying. She needed help getting a chair to put her baby in. And she was in that moment, she was so overwhelmed. And I'm like, do you want me to help you? Let me. And she was like, no. And I'm like, let me help you. I said, I've been there. I know the feeling.
Right.
And then this other man was like, that's so cool. It was touching a bunch of other people. And if I hadn't listened to that prompting and just stayed, I would have missed that opportunity to touch that woman, So important.
Yeah, and what a shame that would have been.
And what a shame. Yeah.
And it's a little thing for you.
Yes, but
to her,
huge.
Yeah, it made all the difference in her day.
Yes.
Not to break down, probably.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so
and then to the other people, because at first I thought, okay, so I was meant to help her. But the other people who were impacted by what they saw, I was like, wow. And the kids were like, okay, Mom, we get it. I'm like, good.
Good
We don't need to say anything else.
And again, as I say, like philanthropy is learned, but so is, just giving and caring and sharing.
Yes.
They have to see by your example.
Absolutely. So powerful. I love that quote. What do you know for sure? You said, don't waste one day of your life, Mom.
I wouldn't say I'm a negative person or morbid, but I'm always aware of the fact that we have a limited amount of time. And I'm really pro health and nutrition and the gym and chiropractor and massage and working hard and keeping your body going. But it's the other side of that too. I think I told you, in the last 10 years, I think I've lost 6 close family members.
Yes.
And also 3 friends. And I was like, wow, you didn't see that coming. They were healthy, or they were great, or they were young. But as I said, the train is rolling, and you don't know where you're getting off of it.
So do the best.
Hopefully you're riding it to the end. Everyone's riding it to the end, but you don't know where the end is for
you. So make the best of your life.
Absolutely. Don't waste any time, and don't get bogged down. And I've told you, with toxic people or people who...
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the next segment. I love that. All right, guys, it's time for I Don't Like That, Mom. All right, we're going to find out what gets on Jackie Jumping Jack Leemon's last nerve.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it.
Well, I wish I could say it's
something deep,
big in the universe, but I can't stand being on the airline and the seat doesn't recline.
And you travel a lot with your job.
I travel
so
a lot.
Not like the rest of us who probably travel once a year.
I am the high mileage person for all the airlines. I have very good status with them all because I'm on those flights all the time. But I book my seat specifically so that it reclines, and then you get somebody behind you that says, I'm sorry, can you put your seat up? And I'm like, no, I can't.
I can't.
From riding over the years, all the concussion and strain. I do have some back issues, and for me to sit up is a terrible way to do it. Yeah. And I know we're only reclining this much when we recline. It's like, Oh, wow,
Yeah,
big difference.
like less than 15 degrees.
So that's a crazy thing.
You don't like that.
I know. It's
I don't,
minimal, but
yeah,
I get a window, so I can always at least lean
on the window.
I am travel size, so I'm not as uncomfortable as some people on the plane. I'm going to Germany, in fact, on tomorrow, and I have a 8-hour flight ahead. And
so you're going to make sure that seat can recline.
Double check that.
All right, guys, it's time for What in the World? Okay, Jackie. What in the world? What are your what in the world questions? You said healthcare was one, illiteracy. Talk about what's on your heart.
Wow, I want to preface by saying I do think America is an amazing country. I've traveled all over the world.
Yeah.
I love America. I don't think it's broken. I think we have things to fix.
Yeah.
But, and I would say we have to have affordable health care for people. We have to keep the kids in school, keep them learning, keep them motivated. I think it's harder and harder for teachers because they're so programmed to the phones and the tablets and the TV, and it's very hard to educate them. So I don't know the answers if we have to bring more technology into the classroom or get them out of the technology and focus back on people again.
Yes, I remember you were saying that.
Yeah, you look around a restaurant, 4 people are at the table, and all 4 of them are on their cell phones.
Nobody is talking.
This is awful, especially for a family situation.
Yeah.
So
I had a friend of mine say, you know what's Facebook? Facebook is sitting face to face.
Yeah, right, and with someone else.
And having a conversation. It's too funny. But yeah, I know what you mean.
So a lot of things like that. But I do love America. And if you travel to other countries and you see the freedom we have, and especially the freedom we have as women, we should never forget that, and we should be thankful for that.
Absolutely. All right, guys, it's time for Say What? All right, guys, Say What is a segment of the show when our masters, like the amazing Jumping Jack, get to talk to us about their area of expertise. Today, you're going to talk to us a little bit about horses. We're going to see a video, and you're going to show us some pictures. So let's go to the first graphic, Dylan. All about horses. First graphic. You say horses are graceful.
They are. As big as they are, and they're kind, they allow us to use them for farming or work or battle or sport, and they're so athletic and so graceful, but they are so kind that they'll allow us to do these things with them.
That's not right.
They don't have to. They're so strong.
Yeah, I know.
They don't have any reason to go jump around a course, but they are athletic, and I think they do enjoy it. So they are graceful, for sure.
Lovely. Next graphic. You said horses have served us for centuries. You were talking about cowboys and Indians.
If you think back American history, the land was settled by horses and wagons moving west, and we had the cavalry, back in the Civil War, and we had horses used today for therapy for all kinds of handicap riding programs or other diseases. We have autism. We see horses make a very big connection with children.
Really? Who are autistic?
Yeah, there's a lot of programs. Even here in Bedford, they have the handicap riding program.
Very cool.
So, yeah, horses for therapy, for sport, for fun, as pets.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, next graphic. You said, did you know horse meat is eaten in some countries? I was like, what? Talk to us.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing. Fortunately, the United States has closed the 2 slaughterhouses we've had, but it still doesn't stop all the thefts. We have a lot of horse thefts because, as I say, horses are nice. If you know how to put their halter on, they'll go with you. You can take them anywhere. So it's a sad thing. They're really trying to crack down on it. In my area in Florida, in Loxahatchee, they've been shutting down illegal places. A couple of friends of mine, they've had horses stolen. So it is a problem.
Used for meat,
For meat, yes. There are still in Canada and Mexico slaughterhouses, so it is a
Yes.
problem. But ASPCA is working on this, the Humane Society, the police departments.
Yeah,
It's
to
a
help
sad
crack down.
problem.
Very sad.
Yeah.
And I was doing some Googling about it. Mexico, Belgium, Canada, France, China,
Japan.
Russia, Chile, Spain, so many countries that
It's a
consume
delicacy.
it. It's a
$40
delicacy.
a pound for
$40 a pound for
yeah,
horse meat.
in the stores. So.
Unbelievable.
Fortunately, like I said, America is a culture, and like Great Britain, we love horses. They're part of
Yeah.
our fabric of our
Yeah.
country, and
No.
you know.
We don't eat horse, Mom.
No.
No,
See
Mom.
that.
Next graphic. Horses are expensive. You said you have to clean the stalls twice a day. There's vets, and that owners should take riding lessons to be safe.
Yes, I really feel anybody who wants to ride should get in with a good program that has a reputation for teaching all levels and ages, and they have appropriate and safe animals.
Yeah.
Everyone should always wear a helmet.
Yeah.
It's tempting not to. You see the cowboys out on the
You know, with the
range.
hair blowing in the
Yeah,
wind.
but head injuries are a
big.
very real problem. Your brain doesn't heal like the rest of your body.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would always encourage that. And if you're at a riding place that lets the kids slide on that, I would take your
Think
kids
twice.
somewhere else.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You say, next graphic, you say horses drink a lot of water.
Yeah. They usually have 2 buckets in their stall, which is 2 10-gallon buckets, and so that's 20 right off the bat, and they
up
fill
to
it 2
40
or 3
gallons.
or more even.
Wow.
So when we have a hurricane situation in Florida, we have to store up a lot of water in case if we have horses in the barn. And we do have trucks that come around with water just for the animals.
To make sure that they're hydrated.
So they're expensive in terms of time and upkeep. It's not like a dog that, like I have a dog that goes with me to work every day, and you know, she rides shotgun in my truck with me. But they don't fit into your life like a horse, or like a dog or a cat.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be stabled properly, or they
Yeah.
have to have enough turnout area or fields. Or so I would encourage everyone to think twice before they get a horse. you know.
Yes.
It really has to be the right situation for you, and it should be like any other pet, a lifelong commitment.
Absolutely.
You know, as long as you can, you know.
Yeah.
Or make sure it goes on to the next child when your child is grown up, and have
Yeah.
a good home for them.
Great advice, Jackie.
Yeah.
So you are going to be a part of that Olympic team going to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro.
Very excited, very excited.
And the course design is what you're going to be working on. So we're going to
Yes.
take a look at that graphic. What does that look like? What is that?
That's actually one of my courses. I am a large R course designer for the United States Equestrian Federation.
Yes.
That was a show I've done for Nona Garson in Wellington. She has
Yeah.
also a farm in New Jersey, but one of my first places I was working as a course designer. And I actually do this graphic on the computer to scale measurement of the ring.
Yeah.
And lay out the jumps.
Yeah.
And then actually physically a team and I, a jump crew,
Physically put them in place.
go to the field or the arena or whatever and lay them down, measure it, make sure it's correct striding for the horse.
Yeah.
And then
That's
we
so
build it. And
cool.
we'll be building in Rio first 2
Yeah.
weeks of August
That's very
for the show
technical.
jumping team.
Yeah.
And looking forward to that. The chief is Guilherme Georgia, and he's from Brazil himself, and I've
Yeah.
worked with him a lot, so
It's gonna
I was
be
very
fun.
honored to be on the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see the video of you actually jumping. Miss Jumping Jack.
Jackie riding Andiamo.
So where are we in this video, Jackie?
Yeah, this is Spruce Meadows, which is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
And this is actually a horse I still have named Andiamo.
Yeah.
He came from Italy, so I had to give him an Italian name. And
of course.
Andiamo means let's go in Italian.
That's very cool.
He's a wonderful horse. He's actually a French bred horse.
Yeah.
And this was a few years ago. I haven't been to Calgary lately because it is a long way out there.
And this is an example, and this is an example of the track design, something similar to what you would do, laying out the obstacles for the horse to jump
We would
over.
do it on the paper, on the computer, or sometimes it's sketched by hand to start.
Yeah.
And then this is the reality of it.
Yeah.
We put these jumps together.
Very cool. You look amazing on that horse. Oh my God.
He's a great horse. I love him. He's getting older now, and he won't be probably jumping quite as big, but I'm sure he'll be around a long time.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so we have some pictures that we want to check out.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, there he is again.
This is Andiamo
yes,
again.
There he is. This is in Wellington at the Winter Equestrian Festival. Yeah, he's my buddy. He's so beautiful. And he's smart.
Next picture. We have 1 minute left. Where are we here?
This is a new horse named Baldev that I just acquired. That's my farm manager, Phil Martinez. He's been with me on and off for 20 years. He's a great guy. He's in charge of all the horses. And I'm sitting there. That was, I think, last summer.
Love that shot. Next picture. You're jumping again.
That's a lovely mare I had named Miracle, who came from England.
Wow.
And
next graphic, next picture.
There I am, course designing with the chart and the map in my hands in Germany, Aachen, Germany.
Next picture.
Oh, it's a young one, way over jumping a jump, victory celebration.
Oh my goodness.
You can see he's young, so he's not sure how to gauge it. So he's making sure he doesn't get near that rail.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. It was a pleasure.
Really fun. Thank you.
Yes, it was amazing, amazing, amazing.
Well, you're inspiring.
Thank you.
It's nice. It's so nice to be with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
One love, Jackie.
One love.
One love to my friends at home.